Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all of the Aquariuses out there. If you are an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this is your upcoming tarot reading for the month of November. In case anybody is curious, I don't have the box with me, but I will be using the Star Tarot. So let's see what November has in store for all of you Aquariuses. Very interesting. So the first card we had jump out was the Page of Pentacles, which is the princess in this deck. And then we had the Queen of Wands jump out very shortly after. I love these two next to each other. Love that. Eight of Wands came after that, which one of my favorite cards in the entire tarot deck. And then we had the Fool reverse jump out, and then Strength reverse at the bottom of the deck as well. So let's get into this. With the Page of Pentacles jumping out first, it kind of tells me that there is some sort of uh, like divine intervention wants to come forward, but I feel like intervention is something that happens when things are going wrong, which especially from your reading last month, I don't think anything's going wrong. It's almost like it's almost like the universe is stepping in to kind of give you something that will help give you a leg up in your societal standing, in your job slash career, in how society views you, and the ways you volunteer, even because Aquarius, you guys are very humanitarian. There's going to be a new opportunity that's almost going to be like it's dropped in your lap in a way. Like you're going to get a thought about it, and then you'll put it in the back of your head, and you'll be walking down the street and you'll see a poster for this exact thought. Like, for example, I think I want to try out for a play. I think I want to try out for a musical. And then you're walking down the street, taking a path you've never taken before, and you see a flyer that says musical tryouts tomorrow, and you have a free day tomorrow. So you're like, oh my gosh, let's do it. It'll feel like something very divinely orchestrated that's going to help you establish yourself on a more level ground in your, like I said, in your society, in your community, in your career, or something like that. And it's giving it's giving the vibe that it's going to be something that is fun. It's not going to feel like responsibility. It's not going to feel like anything you have to like try to do. Of course, in my example, you have to try out, you have to audition, but besides the point. With the Queen of Wands energy as well, whatever this opportunity is, it's going to help you really connect to your power and your intuition. And I think that the way this situation is going to come to you is going to be something that and like already makes you trust your intuition, because using the example I just said, your intuition was what gave you the thought to try out for the play. Your intuition is what gave you the thought to go take that different route that day, or go to a different coffee shop, or whatever it may be. So just the way this thing comes into your life will help you trust and strengthen your intuition more, because you will recognize in the moment that it happens that your intuition is exactly what led you there. And then that's where the fun part begins, especially with this Eight of Wands. Once you act like once you start to really give your intuition the credit it deserves, for lack of a better term, you will start to see a lot of fast-paced movement because you're now following your intuition. It's like you feel like you're being divinely guided by your heartstrings. Like you're just being led by this invisible string that's pulling you towards or pulling you forth on this journey. And again, Eight of Wands, very, very fast-paced energy. It's like something feels like it's blowing you, like a strong gust of wind blowing you into something or someone. Or I don't think this has anything to do with relationships. It definitely is more about like personal growth and trust in yourself, the trust you have in yourself to guide you on the journey of wherever you're going. I love the Queen of Wands energy too. Oh, and you know what, there's a lion and a panther on here, so it's possible that Leos and or Scorpios might be kind of tapping into you. But I also just love that like the lion represents the sun, represents the consciousness, where the panther, I don't know if you can see on the card, she's got stars in her body. So she is the hidden, she is the sub or the unconscious, she's the unknown. And the Queen of Wands is using these two together, her consciousness and her sub slash unconsciousness, to bring about the reality that she desires. You can tell she is in her power. She's creative. She has the capability to do anything she wants and flourish with it. And this has to do with your passions too. So whatever this situation is that is kind of falling in your lap, you're going to, like I said earlier, it's fun. It's going to connect with you really deeply as well. So if this is a new hobby or, a new venture or something, it's or if it does have to do with work, it's not going to feel like work. It's going to feel like an opportunity for you to expand your horizons and maybe even look at your job from another viewpoint. Like looking at what you do day to day as not as a means of just making money to survive, but getting like part of your identity, but in a good way. It's like it's part of who you came to this earth to be. And whatever this opportunity is, it's just another step on that journey for you to learn what you need to learn, gain the knowledge you need to gain to proceed forward with where you're going. With all that said, the Fool and Strength reverse are very interesting to me as well, especially with this new venture. This feels like don't try to go too far too quickly, if you know what I mean. There's wisdom that you will obtain from whatever the situation is, again, through your intuition, through this new venture that you're taking on. And you may want to, once it's completed and you've learned the lessons and you've done the thing and you experienced it all, you might want to like expand your horizons because of this thing or with this thing. But these two together are telling me, like, not quite yet, not quite yet. So if you're contemplating like a big move or travel plans or something in response to whatever this situation is, maybe postpone it just a little bit. I'm not saying put it off forever, but there's something in your immediate vicinity that is going to need your touch, that is going to need your wisdom, that's going to need your inner strength, whether it is just an individual going through something really hard and you're going to be there to help usher them through it, or like we'll bring work back into it. Maybe, maybe something's going to happen, and with whatever wisdom you gain from this situation that's falling in your lap, you will learn something very specific that is needed to help save the company. You know, it doesn't even have to be all that grand either. It could be you just being on the sidewalk as somebody is tripping over themselves and you catch them so they don't drop all of their stuff. But there's a very strong message of being at the right place at the right time. And if you venture out too quickly, you won't be able to be there. So again, this is just going back to tapping into your intuition and knowing, okay, I have these plans. I have this idea that I want to go to Paris. Do I want to, and just listen to the responses from your intuition, from your gut. Ask yourself, do I want to go, would it be prosperous for me to go in January? No, not quite. February? No. March? Perhaps. April? Yes, April. Something, only we are the only ones that really know how our intuition speaks to us. So however you get those answers is perfect. And that's what you should be listening for. Like I said, this isn't something you have to just say no to. It's just postponing it a little bit and then going when you feel that call. And honestly, it might even be something that you don't even plan. You don't even plan it ahead. You just wait. You know you want to do the thing. And again, you let your intuition guide you for the exact day to buy the flights, exact day to plan it all. Maybe after whatever is needed in your immediate vicinity occurs. But yeah, there's something close by that's going to need your immediate assistance. And again, this inner strength piece, this is something that might test you a little bit and might shake the foundation a bit, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could just be you were available to help somebody in their time of need, and because of that, you gained even greater trust in your intuition, and you're like, okay, well, now let's see where it can take me from here. Oh, interesting. It's on the bottom. This is really interesting. So we had Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords jump out immediately, which is very interesting to me. So the Seven of Pentacles makes sense with the spread, but the Nine of Swords brings an interesting dynamic, which it's leading me back to that subconscious aspect that we talked about with the Queen of Wands with this Puma energy. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card that shows like you've done all of your hard work. Think of it like if you live on a farm. The Seven of Pentacles energy is okay, I've tilled the soil, I've planted the seeds, I've watered them, I've tenderly cared for them as it grew from seed to sprout to plant to flower to fruit. And now we're in between that stage of flowering to fruit where you're it's a hands off now. You've done all of the hard work, but it's not quite yet time to harvest. But this would be a very good opportunity for you to really just reflect on the work you've done and be proud of yourself for the work you've done. That and this is so Saturnian, which is perfect for Aquarius, but you've set the groundwork, you've set the foundation to set yourself up for success to the point where now as you're waiting for this thing to be ready to harvest, you really don't have much to do. But I think in that nothingness, in that expanse, if you will, because when there's nothing, there's actually everything. In that expanse, you might be letting your mind kind of take over. And when we're in our mind, our intuition can't speak to us. The mind is so loud. The mind will kick and scream and fight to be heard. To fight, actually, no, fight to drown out any other messages that come from the rest of our body, from our heart, from our intuition, from our spirit, even from our spirit team, from our guides. The mind will drown out everything if it feels that it is being pushed out of its comfort zone too soon, for example. Or if the ego wants to take control and you're doing everything you can to let your soul guide you, the ego is going to get louder and louder and harder to ignore. So this makes me think this is going to be that period where you had the idea to go out to venture, but your intuition is telling you to wait for whatever reason, not quite yet. And it's in that holding period, that incubation period is what wants to come through. It's in that period where you are going to just, or I should say, your mind is going to start to go crazy. And you can even see it on here. This could even denote like you're so stressed out about whatever your brain is conjuring up that your neck, shoulder, upper back, like you are just in pain. You can't sleep. Even your dreams are being affected by it. I love that the web is on this one, but like you can see the butterfly is trapped in the web, and that web is just your own mental faculties. That butterfly is your subconscious. That butterfly is your spirit that wants to guide you, your intuition, all of that wants to guide you, but it's trapped in that web of the unknown, of fear. And that might be what you're going to start leaning into during that incubation period is that fear, that worry, that rumination of maybe I was just crazy and my intuition actually wasn't speaking to me, and just letting that spiral go on a loop. But with the 7 of Pentacles, and also I should say the Queen of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck too. So there is going to be a sense of strength and awareness and understanding that like you won't let your mind take over. Essentially, you will get it, you will get a handle on yourself, but it might just be another lesson you have to learn within, and that goes back to that inner strength aspect. So with the inner strength, you're going to need that inner strength to fight through when your mind is telling you no, 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 and your mind is trying to disrupt that newfound awareness you have, how to listen to your body. Because the ego loves comfort. The ego doesn't like to be put in the passenger seat. So when we start to make real shifts on our spiritual journey towards a more healthy spiritual life and allowing ourselves to be guided by the heart, the ego doesn't like to not be in control. So I think that's what's going to be happening here is your ego is going to start kicking and screaming and no, you can't do this because then what does that make me? Like like there might be a time where you kind of lose grips with your own self-identity, but it's all a part of the process. And I love that it's in congruence with the 7 of Pentacles because it's the perfect it gives like hanged man energy almost. Um Although in this case, you're not necessarily trapped, but it's about trusting your intuition that I am in this incubation period for a reason. And if I let my ego playing on level 100 on repeat in my head, if I let that disrupt my plans for the spontaneity, for knowing in the moment, then I know I'm going to be disrupting this Seven of Pentacles cycle. I'm going to be trying to harvest a month before the fruits are even ready. So the fruits aren't even going to be edible. And the experiences I'm going to have aren't even going to help me in the long run. I'm going to then trap myself in this cycle of my mind taking over. But alternatively, if I show myself that inner strength and allow myself to kind of, and there's two lions in this deck so far, or in this spread, I mean. If I let my inner strength, my inner spirit, my inner guidance allow me, or if I let my inner guidance be what guides me rather than my ego's yelling, then I will know exactly when the right time is to take this next step of my journey. But there's a strong theme of knowing that where you are right now and this pause period is so important for you. Again, I'm getting that word incubation. It's almost like you need this because wherever you're going next, whatever this next part of your journey is, the ego is going to be is going to need to be reeled in. There won't be a place in that driver's seat for the ego for whatever is next, and whatever is next, I think it's similar to the Page of Pentacles we mentioned earlier. I think whatever is next is going to be what helps solidify that newfound reputation or that newfound career or whatever it is that you were experiencing from this new situation in the beginning. But again, there's a strong need to trust your intuition and to know that just because my ego is yelling at me, just because my mind is scared, doesn't mean I have to act right away. And I think in this time, learning how to decipher between the ego and the soul, or the ego and your clairaudience or clairvoyance or clairsentience, claircognizance, deciphering how your ego speaks to you versus how your intuition speaks to you is going to be key. And I think in this incubation period, that's the perfect time to do so. The best time to learn is when you're in the soup already. So if your mind is going through it, the only way, I'm a kinesthetic learner especially, so I learn as I do. The only way you will be able to move forward and stop the mind from its ramblings is to learn in the process. Learn how in the like as you go, whether that's through meditating or just going on daily walks or doing yoga or exercising or reading or whatever you can do to keep the mind at bay, and especially those stress chemicals. Try to amplify as much serotonin as possible. Is that the sixth again? That's the eight. Try to amplify as much serotonin as possible, but in a way that's like a healthy adaptation of it, in a way where you're not chasing the adrenaline or becoming dependent on substance or any medicine outside of yourself. Let's see. It's almost out of time. I just want to see if anything else wants to come out. Five of Pentacles reversed did come out. And when it's upright, Five of Pentacles can be kind of a bleak message. But when it's reversed, it's almost like, so upright, it shows these two in the Rider-Waite deck, it's two people wandering through a snowstorm, a blizzard. They're just outside of this church that offers light and warmth, but they can't get in. One of them has a broken leg. Like they're in shambles. They're in shambles in the original symbolism. But when it's reversed, it's almost saying so in the original it's almost like they are keeping themselves out of the church, or somebody in the church saw them in their state and said, no, we're not buying. Reversed, it's you still feel like you're lost in the sauce, but there is help for you. There is assistance for you. And that's kind of exactly what I was saying. You might have to be your own assistance for the time being, but it's a learn as you go kind of thing. You're not going to be so lost in your own mind that it becomes dangerous. It's going to be, like I said earlier, just another step along that journey. Just another step and another step and another step. And you will find your way through it ultimately. Again, Queen of Pentacles does not come out if success is not meant for you on the other side. You will find your way through it. Eight of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. and the star. This is the third month in a row, Aquarius, that you have gotten the star, which is your card. So that's what's waiting for you on the other side. Um, you might have to work diligently, especially when chipping away at the habits of the mind. You might have to work diligently to quiet it and listen to your intuition. But once you do, Ace of Swords, you have a brand new beginning with a brand new mindset ready to move you forward. And this can be something that you're strengthening your creativity or your intellect or even your cunning moving forward. So when the ego does try to slip back in and make you question your own gut, your own intuition, you're going to have a new mindset that it's oh my God, I'm seeing like a bridging the gap between your unconscious fears and your conscious mind. So it's like next time this kind of thing comes up again where your mind is just going, you're going to have something, some sort of new, like something in your tool belt is what I'm saying. You're going to have this new way to deal with it and gently, almost gentle parent your ego, move them to the passenger seat, say, you deal with the playlist, keep yourself busy. I'm going to be driving though, as the intuition. You're going to have this newfound strength and you're going to need it for the next part of your journey because again, wherever this new thing, this Queen of Pentacles energy is taking you, you are going to need to be fully in your authentic self, your divine self, your creative self. You are going to need to be radically yourself for this next portion. And like I said, Queen of Pentacles doesn't come out unless success is almost guaranteed. It's just moving through the muck to get there. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing for November. It'll start with a new intuitive idea that you are going to stumble upon in your environment. Once you stumble upon it, it'll be fast paced, you'll have a lot of fun, and then you'll want to keep going forward, maybe move, maybe travel. But you're going to have to wait. There's an incubation period that you have to go through to be in the right place at the right time. And whether that's for somebody else or for yourself, you decide. During that incubation period, your mind might play tricks on you. You're going to learn as you go how to help alleviate the noise of the mind. And it's through hard work. I don't want to say hard work. It's through your own diligence towards your progress. Through your own diligence, you will find that you can provide yourself the help you need in order to step into that new, that shifted perspective and then lead you to your divine authentic nature and your intuition and your authenticity and everything that's so beautiful. That shook. Well, Aquarius, that was a general reading. As beautiful as it was, it's possible not everything would resonate. If that is the case, you can check out my website linked in the bio below. You can book with me for tarot, human design, and astrology. Numerology is coming soon, so if you're interested in that, keep a lookout for that. And of course, we do this every single month for all of the signs. So if you want to keep up with these readings and get an idea for the energies that are in your soup bowl for the month to come, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you guys next time. But otherwise, Aquarius, we're just moving along. This really feels like a reading that denotes progress and forward movement. And just again, one step at a time, one step on your journey as you go. So I'm excited to see where this takes you, and I'll see you next time.